Shalom, family. Welcome to another Sabbath lesson. All praises for having everybody here today. Today's lesson is going to be titled, Ye Are the Temple of God. Let's read the introduction. So, Shalom, Israel. Thank you for gathering together this Sabbath day to study the word of the Most High. Today we will use precepts to determine how to cleanse the Lord's temple. We must correct our wrongs and be a living example to others how to walk in this wicked society. May the Most High add a blessing to the reading of His word. So we've heard this saying a lot of our body is a temple. You are the temple of God. We'll go into the scriptures and see what our people are struggling with, some things we may have done in the past that we can help others with to try to turn, like you said, try to cleanse our temple. So we're going to start out in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 16 and 17. So we're in Corinthians, the New Testament. Paul speaking to the Israelites in Corinth. First Corinthians 3 and 16.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. Let no man.
That's it. So, know ye not that you are the temple of God? He was asking a question, no? He's asking the Israelites in Corinth, don't you know that you're the temple of God? So God is asking us this question right now. He said, in the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. We should know that by now because we've been in the truth long enough to know when you're keeping the words of the Most High, that His Spirit is dwelling in you. Plus, you're a child of, you're the children of Israel. So He's only dealing with us on that level. Now, a temple, if you were speaking in a sense of not your body, but a literal building, a place of worship, you would know why He is saying that's holy, right? So if you look at this definition, when you bring it up, it says, used of the temple at Jerusalem, but only of the sacred edifice itself, consisting of the holy place. So it's basically a holy place, right? It's not going to be a bunch of foolery going on in the temple, or people polluting the temple, or defiling the temple, doing things you're not supposed to. That's what it's made for.
It's a place of worship.
It's a place of worship. So, if our body is a temple, we have to bring that same mindset in. You don't want to defile it. You don't want to be doing things to your body that will defile it and make it to where it's unholy anymore. Right? Mm-hmm. And He said, if any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. So now you can kind of see why people are going through things. They have ailments, diseases, or just things going on with their body. It's not operating the way God intended it to because we're not taking care of it. And I'm speaking directly to our people because He gave us these laws and commandments to on what to do to help preserve yourself, to have long life. He said, for the temple of God is holy. To be holy means what?
Sacred.
It's sacred. It's something different about us than the other nations. So we, like he said in the introduction, we got to be a living example to other people. We walking, we see our elderly women or brothers, 70, 80 years old, still moving good, still able to do a lot of things. They active and they not bent over and can't barely walk because they've been taking care of themselves. That's what you want to get to. When you older, you done took care of your body and your temple. Where you still, why you think in the past, in the early years, the Abrahams and all of them, they was living hundreds of years. That was a normal thing to live that long. Our lifespan has been cut in half almost, pretty much, just because of the things we doing to our body.
And also, you gotta remember the wages of sin is death. So if you ain't out here keeping the laws, the Lord gonna bring them illnesses and illnesses on you. But he gonna touch it to that later on with a lot of verses.
So the next verse we're going to, that was the title of the lesson. We're going to 1 Corinthians. We're gonna go to chapter 6 this time. Chapter 6, 19 and 20. If we have any questions, feel free.
It says you are renting this body.
So let's get some understanding on this verse. Verse 19.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, 19 through 20. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye have not known, ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
So he's saying something a little similar here too. He said, didn't you know your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost? The Holy Ghost and the Spirit is one in itself, right? So he just said a different way this time. But he said, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own. So what does that mean? Ye are not your own.
It's not yours.
Exactly. That's why I put in there, we just renting this body. It's like you renting a house or a car. Whatever it is. It's not really yours, but you have to take care of it, right? Yeah, you have the option or the free will, per se, to mess it up, but guess what? It's a penalty behind that. You can't just mess it up and then just think ain't nothing going to happen. So like he said, this body was given us by the Most High. We his vessels. So we have to
take care of it. Treat it as such. Man.
It's like a manual to a car. It tell you what type of gas to put in the car. If you put the wrong gas in the car, it ain't gonna run right.
If you put water in the car, what's gonna happen to the car?
It ain't gonna start.
Exactly. It's useless now. So the words is these commandments.
You don't think so?
No.
So he said, for ye are bought with a price. Expound on that.
Ye are bought with the price. The price that the Lord brought us with was Christ. When Christ died on the cross, remember, we all sin. And once you break God's laws, really, you're supposed to just be waiting on Judgment Day and God come back and show you what sin you broke, law you didn't keep. Then you perish. You go to the lake of fire. But Christ, God brought Christ, his only begotten Son, to give us a chance back into the kingdom, back into receiving that everlasting life. So we were brought with the price of the blood of Jesus.
Right. So like you said, it would be a slap in the face of the Most High and Christ to be doing what you feel is right in your eyes. Like you said in the last lesson, how a bunch of our people was doing what was right in their own eyes. They think they glorifying God by whatever it is they do.
Sunday worship.
Yeah. You think you're doing what you're supposed to. You think you're doing something right, but actually it ain't got nothing to do with the commandments. So you're bought with a price, and therefore you should glorify God in your body. The living example that we talked about. He said it, and in your spirit, which are God's. Because remember, we are the little gods. Remember, there's the Most High, there's Christ, there's us. We're the little guys, lowercase. So we have to act like it. We was made in his image.
Can you give examples to maybe the boys on how to glorify God with your body?
Some of the stuff we're gonna go over is gonna cover that also.
I'm sorry.
But like for example, you walking around and somebody, they asking you like some of the stuff we about to go over, like, the foods you eat or whatnot. You glorifying God in that body. You thanking him and saying, no, I'm not gonna put that poison in my body because I know he's told me not to do it. And like I said, we're gonna touch a lot of it here. It's gonna go over a lot of the things that especially our people struggle with, or that we are into, that's part of the world, but it's not actually part of the Most High God's commandments.
Right now, y'all young, like y'all body is really working. It's kicking on all cylinders. So it's good right now to start taking care of your body, because y'all gonna see once y'all get out of school, the junk food that you eat, it could just ruin your body. Soda can ruin your body. So how Elijah over there just drinking water right now, that's good. He taking care of his body at a young age, and y'all active. Y'all in sports, you know, y'all taking care of yourself. Y'all just not sitting around playing video games, letting your body go to waste.
Good example.
Eating vegetables instead of cans.
Exactly. It'll rot your teeth out. Teeth part of your body. Yep. Soda. Rot your teeth out.
Exactly.
That's what I meant, like the vegetables.
Yes, that's good examples. Thank you. So we're gonna go to Romans chapter 6, and we're gonna start at verse 12, go to 13, and we'll skip down to verse 23. It says, "Discipline yourself."
So Romans chapter 6, 12, 13. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey in it the lust thereof, neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God, that those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God.
So that's heavy right here. It says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body." You know what it means to reign
Click
in
on
the
the
body?
button.
Click on it. To rule. You know how like a king is reigning over somebody? He's the ruler of something. It says, don't let sin rule in your mortal body. Don't let that be in control. That ye should obey it in the lust thereof. That you can't seem to do nothing but just sin. Because it's been taking over you. And there's some people like that. They've gotten to the point where the Most High gave them over to their lust. Now it's ruling in their body. He's warning you. Paul is warning us right here to not let that happen. Because there's a point where if you keep going against the Lord, he'll give you over to that lust. And then you can't control it at that point.
For example, you could be a womanizer. I always touch on that. I don't know why. But you could be a womanizer. I mean, the Bible says you're only supposed to have one woman. But you keep looking at magazines with nude women or women with tight clothing, or everywhere you go, you in your mind, you might not even be saying it outside, but you looking at all these different women. It's gonna be to a point you're gonna act on that. So that's just one example of a sin that could just take over your body, and then you can get diseases because of that type of stuff. Sleeping with all these multiple women, that mortal body will start turning immoral.
So this is why we're saying discipline yourself. Start trying to keep that stuff in check. It says, verse 13 says, "Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin." So don't use the members of your body of all the different parts.
Your hand is an instrument. Your mind is an instrument. Your eyes is an instrument. Your lips. You could be a liar.
Exactly. So don't yield those members as instruments of unrighteousness. It says, "But yield yourself unto God." That's who we need to be yielding ourselves to. He said, "As those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto sin." Unto God. So we're supposed to be like, that's part of the glorifying God in your body. You're using your body for good, helping somebody out. That could be a way of using your body as an instrument of righteousness. You helping another brother or sister out when they in need.
Instead of stealing with your hands.
Exactly. Instead of running to a fight, you going to run to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's just different ways you can do it. There's so many different examples. But you know what's right and wrong. We got, like you said, we got that spirit that's in us. Plus we read the scriptures and we know it. So let's skip down to verse 23. What he just said earlier.
Verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
Is what?
Is death.
So the wages of sin, meaning if you sin, the way you gonna get paid for that sin is death. It's coming. It may not come right when you do it, but it's coming. Don't think the Lord forgot anything. He don't forget. People think just because they get away with something at the moment that it's all good. It's just, oh man, he ain't see me. Nah, he got eyes everywhere.
You might be on a slow decline.
Exactly.
Like you're eventually gonna die. Your days are getting shorter by the more you sin.
He said, but the gift what?
But the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ, our Lord.
But the gift of God is eternal life, that kingdom, that salvation, that ultimate prize that we striving for. It's got to be through Christ our Lord. He's the door to enter in. We got to go through Christ. We can't go no other way. Remember, anybody try to go any other way but through Christ, they ain't going to make it.
Said the wages of sin is death, meaning you're going to die. But if you keep the commandments, you'll have eternal life through Jesus Christ.
It's one or the other. There's no real gray area in the word. There ain't no like loopholes through this. You can't. You know how it's wicked people. There's always people in the world trying to find ways to circumvent the laws or the rules that's set up. They're always trying to find a way to get by without having to do everything. No, you gonna have to do either. You have to do it or you're not gonna do it.
Eternal life or death.
Simple as that. Let's go to Colossians. Colossians chapter 3.
5 through 7. It says, discipline yourself.
Verse 5 through 7.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth.
Stop for a second. Mortify. That's not a word we use every day. Let's see what that means. Subdue. You know what it means to subdue something? Keep it in control. Basically, keep control, therefore, your members which are upon the earth. Discipline, he says. It's just a synonym for discipline. Mortify your members. And go and do what?
Which are upon the earth. Fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affections, evil concupiscences, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Keep going.
For which things sake the wrath of God coming on the children of disobedience.
So these things that he just listed, he said these things, the sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience. They wonder why the Lord is punishing them or these bad things are happening to them. Because you caught up in a lot of these things. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, covetousness. And all of that is synonymous with idolatry. We know idolatry got us in the place we was in with our forefathers. Worshiping other gods. All these things can be considered you worshiping another God. You can't serve that and be serving the Most High at the same time. It's possible.
Is the uncleanliness like the foods?
It could, yes, it could. The foods can go under that. It says anything physically or morally unclean. Any type of lust. It's like a blanket over a lot of things.
Anything that's going against God's commandment. Remember, keeping the commandments, you clean, you holy. Unclean is sin.
I think even like hygiene would be like take care of your.
It is commandments in the Bible where it do say we're supposed to wash ourselves,
yeah,
but
your
body, but spiritually wash yourself as well. But I wanted to say one more thing. There's a lot of sick people in this earth. They don't know why they're sick. And he's going to touch on it later. They're not mortifying their members. Their mind, their body, they're not doing thus say the Lord. So guess what come upon them? Cancer, other kind of illnesses, diseases. And they wondering why they going through what they going through. They not keeping God's law.
Verse 7.
In the which ye also walked some time when ye lived in them.
So, hey, nobody can say they spotless in here, right? We walked in that at one point too. Everybody had their own sins that they was dealing with back in the day. Or that you're dealing with to this day. You can still be dealing with, but you need, that's what counsel is for. You come to the word, you come to your brothers and sisters to help you get through that. But you got to be honest with yourself first if you're dealing with that. You can't walk around and act like ain't nothing wrong when you know it's a problem with you. You got to pray about it. You know, ask others to pray for you. But he said, in the which he also walked sometime when you lived in them. So he's just letting them know, hey, don't get big-headed and don't think that just because maybe you done got over that sin that somebody else is dealing with, that now you can just kind of put your head up. No, you need to help that person like the person before you helped you. Help you mortify your members. Because it can be done. There's a lot of people that think, oh, no, I can't do that, man. It's too much. But no, it can be done. You just got to take it one step at a time. You got to crawl before you walk.
That's why we try to tell y'all to be with the right people. Because if you ain't with people that's keeping the laws, they gonna keep you in your sin.
Exactly.
They not gonna point out your sin because they don't want you to change. If you change, you leaving them behind, and then they in their feelings.
So now we're gonna start getting into some of these things that we do to destroy our temple, and we're gonna see the laws on it, what we need to be doing, and some of the things that ain't right, so we can use all of this as examples on what to do and what not to do. So we're gonna be in Leviticus chapter 11.
Go to the pictures one more time for we.
So
because we're gonna touch on unclean food.
So we're about to touch on this. It's the abominable table. You see how people. It's a lot of the stuff that we grew up on, you know.
Catfish over there, lobster, pork, crawfish, shrimp.
Everything that is
But even like
oyster.
I forgot what you call it when you eat so much.
Glutton.
Glutton. Yeah.
That's that guy up there. Look at that big
Yeah,
burger.
that's
Do he need that burger that big?
No.
Come on. But yeah, he about to read these verses for you.
So let's start at verse 1 and go down to 2.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying,
So who is he speaking to again?
The children of Israel.
The children of Israel. Hear these words.
Saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Look, I'm about to let y'all know these are the beasts, the animals that you can eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. So obviously, it's going to be some that you can't eat. Because he didn't say, all right, you can eat all the beasts of the earth. No, he said, I'm about to tell you which ones you can eat. This is real simple if you just think about it. And I'm just making sure we know this is he was talking to our people when he said this. So this is Israel, wake up. Let's go down to verse 7.
Verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So the swine, for those that don't know, is the pig. Hog. It's a forbidden food.
Why? They need that strong concordance, man.
So the little bit that we skipped, he gave the stipulations on some of these animals. He said they have to divide the hoof, be cloven-footed, and they have to chew the cud.
What is the cud? Click on the cud for him.
There you go. This thing is slow. Froze up. One moment, y'all. One moment. They don't like when we start getting into it. They don't like this. It's gonna hurt some feelings. Alright, so the cud. I'll say it right here. Hold on.
To choose.
Partly digested food returned from the first stomach of ruminants to the mouth for further chewing. So basically,
it's not like a alligator. Like they don't swallow their food whole. They chew it up and digest it. So it say even though, because that's one of the stipulations, you can't eat nothing that just swallow the whole thing whole and they don't chew it.
it has to go through a process in their stomach and all of that. It's a different. It's a way that they gotta. What it's doing is it's breaking up all these toxins and all this stuff that's in that food. And that way, you know, it's not keeping all of that in you when you eat it. So basically, go back. It said the swine, he divides the hoof and he's cloven-footed, but he cheweth not the cud. He says, so he's unclean to you. Read on.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcasses shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
So you're not supposed to eat them. Of their carcass shall ye not touch. Of their corpse, the dead bodies. You're not even supposed to touch no dead pig, man. So all of that is unclean to you. Keep going. Verse 9. All the way to
Verse
12.
9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
So now he's talking about animals in the waters, which is what?
Crawfish.
What's another word for animals in the water?
Seafood.
Seafood. But good, yeah, that was an example of one. Yes. Go ahead.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So, anything in the water that has fins and scales, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. They have to have fins and scales.
Do crawfish not have fins and scales? I mean, not crawfish. Catfish. Do they not have fins and scales?
No, they don't.
They don't have scales?
Let's go, hold on for a second. Let me go real quick.
They are bottom feeders, and me and Jean saw that this week.
Put without scales, so they'll know which one. And might put examples.
Just put images. Yeah.
Go to that chart at the top left.
There's a female.
That's the first one.
They gotta have both. They gotta have both fins and scales. If one or the other is missing,
Go to
go back.
no, I think if you click on
The link.
yeah, it'll actually be so
Click
you
on
can
it.
view.
Click on it, Phil, right there. Click on it again. Oh.
It just goes.
Go up to the top. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Don't worry about it.
This one's different.
But anyway, there's a. Let me see.
Yeah, these are the ones you can't eat. Zoom out,
Fish
make it
without
bigger.
Scales. These fish don't have scales. Catfish, crab, clams,
Muscle.
mussels, shellfish, swordfish, shark, eels. So this
Octopus,
is kind of
sturgeons.
a little chart here. These ones don't have scales. Like you said, they might have fins, but they gotta have scales too. Or they might have scales, but they don't have the fins. It says you gotta have both.
Thank you.
So again, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters and in the seas and in the rivers, them shall you eat. Read on.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
An abomination. So he used an even stronger word. He said, these shall be an abomination unto you. We know no abominable thing is going to enter into the kingdom of heaven, right? He's told us that on many occasions. So it would behoove you to not eat these things. If you don't know which ones it is, research, look it up, ask questions. You can find it. Like you said, we're in the information age. Everything's at the fingertips. Especially the younger generation, y'all know how to use computers and internet more than we do. So if it's ever a question that you have or you don't know something, you can look it up. I'm not saying everything on the internet is true, but you have to kind of be able to decipher, you know what I mean? What's fact and what's just opinion. And then match it up with the Bible. If the Bible say this and it matches up, then you can go with it. So verse 11 says, they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the water, that shall be an abomination unto you. So a lot of the seafood that our people eat is no good. And then they wonder why they have these diseases or these problems. They have intestine issues and all type of things going on, man. I got family members going through that right now. That's got problems with their stomach, the inner lining of their stomach. They can't eat, like they can't even eat right now because the stomach is just, they can't digest stuff right. It's because they've been eating these things for so long. In love with crawfish, in love with the shrimp, in love with the catfish.
Pork.
Gotta have it, man.
This stuff is considered a delicacy in this wicked country. That's how you know we living in a wicked society. Like you can't even, they put bacon on top of everything, man. Mm-hmm. Your baked potato, they got burgers, like
they put bacon on everything. Like literally they going to another level with it now. They making bacon donuts and bacon flavored chips and just everything, man. They just going all out, man.
Even salad, you think you're eating a salad, you get bacon bits.
You eat healthy salad and put an abominable bacon bits on your stuff. Come on, man. We gotta smarten up, man. It's 2017, almost 2018, and people still doing the same stuff. Like by now, we should know this, especially some of the like obvious things. Let's go to let's see,
44.
Skip down to verse 44 and read it through 47. You can read all of Leviticus 11 for yourself. And you can go through each and every one of these things. It talks about the creeping things in the earth, all types of different stuff. And he's going to let you know. We just touching on a few that we know our people have issues with and just some of the most popular ones. So, verse 44.
For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Snakes, they creep up on the earth. You can't eat that. Anything that's lying on the stomach and wiggling, like how an alligator and snake, that's creeping on the earth. Mm-hmm. Say, don't you eat any manner of thing that creep up on the earth. 45?
40, all the way down to 47.
For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy.
So we gotta be holy just like he's holy. The Lord wouldn't do none of this. We ain't gonna do none of it. He's saying sanctify yourself. Cleanse yourself. Verse 46.
This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth. So I want to touch on 40. He's saying 1 through 46, he gave you the laws of the beast, the meaning of the beast that walk the earth, of the fowl, of the birds that's in the air, for every living creature that moveth in the water, for in the water, and every creature that creepeth upon the earth, that move upon his belly on the earth. Mm-hmm. To make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
So there is a difference. You can't just say it's all one and the same. Well, I can just pray over it and it's all good. No, you got to make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
And between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
And the beast that may be eaten and may not be eaten. He made it clear as day. And he was speaking to the children of Israel. So we need to be the ones listening to this. Because aren't we the leaders in all those categories of diseases and everything that's bad to people that we got? We the number one in all of those categories.
That explains why.
And this is why.
Gumbo, full of all of this stuff that they talking about. It's a mixture.
Somebody on the chat said swordfish is a delicacy. another country.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Swordfish. Good, whoever that is paying attention. Appreciate it. That's crazy.
So let's go to Isaiah chapter 66. Verse 16 and 17.
Still touching on unclean foods.
I'll read this one. Okay. So Isaiah chapter 66, verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination, and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord.
Y'all heard it. For by the fire and by the sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. Pleading don't mean what we think pleading mean. He ain't gonna be begging nobody. He's letting you know this is how y'all gonna perish, how y'all gonna die. By fire and by the sword.
And it's going to be what? The slain of the Lord is what?
Shall be many.
It's going to be a lot of people that's going to die behind some craziness and foolishness that they didn't want to give up.
17 said, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens. Back then, the gardens was a place of worship for idolatry. One tree in the midst. So they'll go back there and worship a tree in the garden. And they eating swine's flesh and the abomination, all the other abominable foods we ain't supposed to be eating. And the mouse, they shall be consumed together. What consume mean, y'all?
Gathered.
They're gonna die. They're gonna die all together. All these people that's doing this idolatry and eating all these foods that are unclean, they're gonna die together. They're gonna be judged, says the Lord.
This is the judgment right here for it. So somebody is telling you that that you can eat it and the Lord ain't gonna do nothing. He's telling you right here. They don't all be consumed together. This word is endured forever. It's never gonna it don't stop. Man. So let's go to the next one. We're going to Galatians 5.
Show them a picture, because we touching on drugs. Galatians 5, chapter, verse 19. But look what drugs do to your body. Prescription pills, alcohol, marijuana, crack, cocaine, all of that. See, it had a mind on a hook.
So we're going to touch on it. Galatians 5, 19 through 21. I'll read. Let me know when y'all ready.
Man. You got to touch on it. 19. Oh, excuse me. Let me know when y'all ready.
Sorry if I'm moving too fast. Let me know.
Yeah, take your time. And drugs is prevalent in Israel. Like, we don't even want to turn to the Most High. And I'm a bad witness of that. I used to love weed. I'm just now overcoming that. Like, we don't even turn to the Most High no more. We rather just get high and let the pain go away that way. But it don't go nowhere. The trouble's still there. You add no more trouble. Imagine how much money these people spending on weed and pills and drugs when they could be getting themselves out of their current state if they just save their money and do what's right. These rappers idolizing and glorifying that type of stuff. So I'll read verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seductions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
So he listed a lot of things right here, right? He said these things are the work of the flesh. You ain't in the spirit if you doing these things. If it's manifesting with you. Now, if you just read this list, you don't see on here where it's gonna say weed or crack or anything like that. So that's why it's important that we study to show ourselves approved, right?
Can you click on lasciviousness, the top one, lasciviousness?
We did clicked on that about 4 or 5 times.
Oh, we did?
Nah, I mean like in past lessons, we always get to it, nobody know what it means.
Because that's a word we don't use a lot. But this is talking about unbridled lust, excess, wantonness, shamelessness. It's just like a filthy lust that you got. But the one I want to zoom in on is witchcraft. Let's click on that and let's see what it say. What that say?
Medication, pharmacy. That is by magic, sorcery, witchcraft.
So, medication, pharmacy. What y'all ever heard of the term street pharmacist? Hey, it's people out here. How do you? Well, I'm not saying nobody know, but it's if you watch enough movies or anything like that, you know that a lot of these drugs are a lot of things mixed up together, right? In order to make crack or whatever, you mixing up stuff. In order to make an X pill, you mixing up different things. Even that stuff at the stores.
You don't even gotta mix it up. You just take it in excess, like, you know.
You can
for
take
fun,
it, but
you
even
don't
those
need it.
things there, if you look on the bottles, it's scientists and stuff that make these drugs. They mixing up
That's
drugs.
witchcraft.
So it says right here in Thayer's definition, it says the use or administering of drugs could be considered witchcraft.
Go up to the Strongs. They keep going up again. That pharmakia, that's the original root word for pharmacy. Touch on how you keep the laws.
So basically, if you're not keeping the laws, remember we told you the Lord gonna bring certain things on you, diseases, illnesses, ailments. And what do our people do when these things happen to us? We run to who? We run to the doctor. And doctor, prescribe me some of this so I can get rid of this, or prescribe me some of this so I can get rid of that. When the main problem is what? You living in sin. It's a reason why that disease or whatever is brought upon you. Like a certain STDs that you can go get a shot for, and it go away or whatever. And then you right back going into the sin again. Well, guess what? The Lord gonna just put something worse on you. So we have to realize that you have to repent and change your ways. That's the medicine that's gonna cure you. Now there's certain people that they do have certain drugs that is for our help. That's what the Lord, he set up doctors for a reason. Yeah, there are times when we're going to need to go there and they're going to have things to help us. But if you live in a sinful life, you need to start there first. First, you need to change your life and then go forward. You can't be complaining about, oh, this is hurting, I got this issue and I got that issue, but you ain't keeping no commandments. You eating all the wrong foods, you messing up your body in different ways, taking drugs, and then wondering why you got these issues. People with respiratory problems and things, smoking all the time. That stuff is that's smoking your lungs and all that. That's gonna destroy you. If you get a chance, boys especially, look up pictures of like the lungs where after you smoke for so long. Look at people's lungs. It's like it's just black. It looks horrible, man.
That's what I said in school.
And so I'm telling y'all specifically because y'all gonna start seeing these things as y'all get older and older. You gonna see people around you that's doing those things. They gonna be, hey, after school we gonna hit the park real quick and we gonna go smoke this real quick. So hey, we used to be in this stuff, man. Especially if you grew up in low poverty areas where our people are at. We ain't got nothing else to turn to sometimes. And if you ain't got guidance, you gonna go to those things. It's just sometimes it's inevitable for certain people. They around it 24/7. Their mama may be a crackhead, their daddy may be a dealer. They got uncles and aunts in it, and it's like at some point you like they just give in, they just start doing it.
Don't let the world pressure you into that type of stuff. But for example, like you said, eating the wrong foods. Now you got high blood pressure.
Yes.
High cholesterol. You eating all of this But this is how wicked it is. We don't, like you said, we don't turn back into the laws and stop doing that and taking care of our temple that the Lord gave us. We would rather go to the white man or to the other nations who the doctors are, get a pill for it and take the pill and then continue eating or continue living in that way. That's why we dying earlier and earlier as a nation, man. We need to start running back to the Lord. He our forms. These dudes, if we do what he say do, we'll live longer.
Exactly.
I also want to say one more
That's
thing.
idolatry. You running to the doctor. He's your idol now. He's your God now. He has a whole closet full of pills that can take away all of this stuff for you, man. When you ain't running to the Most High. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was gonna like. We watched this thing the other day about this guy the guy that was addicted to crack, and that basically like to tie into another scripture that we went over, like reigned over his body. The crack literally reigned over his body, like he
This
tried.
is what drug do to your mind. You're hooked. This man was some kind of nice job, black man, nice job. Got hooked on crack. This video from like 1982. He got hooked on crack. The one time he ever used crack, he said the next day he was at the bank before it was open. He couldn't even wait to get in the bank to take out all his money. He said he spent $50,000 in drugs in 1 year. So that's what it does your mind. That's why you see broken homes.
Literally, you can't think of anything else besides that.
All your resources is going to this one particular drug. That's why a lot of our people are in that lower state right now. That's why they stuck in these projects or in these low income developments, because all of their resources is going over to the drug, man.
And to this day, they still making things now to try to get rid of try to make, like you said, basically make themselves higher than God. They trying to. I think I've read something, heard something. They got stuff that they trying to cure AIDS and stuff with, and HIV and all that. So we're like, if you get it, you still good.
They still have,
you can still go do what you want.
No, they have
as many people as you want to. We got a shot for that too.
They have that now. They even have one where you can like prevent getting HIV. Like you just take that pill and you can't get it.
You know what the most prominent way of catching HIV? Homosexuality.
Which we gonna touch on.
So now the homos can do whatever they want without even worrying about the judgment God giving them for doing that type of stuff.
They think they can outsmart God. And it's really it's your oppressors that's doing this to you. They the ones setting it up. Because you got to run to them. You know we ain't got no... we ain't the ones doing it.
Just
making up these cures and whatnot. So yeah, that was just a touch on the drug use. Real quick, while we on this verse, I want to click on drunkenness because we about to go to strong drink. Intoxication, drunkenness. Is it a sin to drink wine? Oh, no, right?
We drink wine for the Passover.
We drink wine for Passover. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to learn the law on this. We're going to learn the law on drinking. It's strong drink. We're about to learn it because some people just don't know. They wasn't never taught. If this was taught in our churches, we'd be a whole lot better off.
I was guilty of that too. As soon as I get off work, I'm running to grab a beer, drink, smoking weed. I gotta confess my sins, man.
So we're gonna go to Proverbs 31, 4 through 7.
Proverbs 31, verse 1.
I'm sorry, start at verse 4.
Proverbs chapter 31, verse 4. Is it not for kings, O Lamel? Is it not for kings to drink wine? Nor for princes strong drink? Excuse me. Yeah, that's it. Nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish. So he said, verse 5 said, it ain't for kings to be drinking, just sitting around drunk, because they're going to do what? Forget the law and pervert the judgment.
What is the king's duty? What's a leader's duty? It's to what?
They rule.
Rule, and they're supposed to basically enforce the law. They supposed to be making sure everything is in order. Cause you in charge. But if you sitting around drunk all the time, you gonna forget the law. It ain't gonna be on your mind. Cause the liquor does something to you. You ain't gonna be in the same state that you was in when you wasn't drinking. So how you gonna be drinking and just drinking and be trying to tell people what to do? Man, you're not in your right state of mind. So it says you're gonna forget the law and you're gonna pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. You just letting stuff go. You like, I'm drunk, man. I ain't got time for this, man. You're free, man. Go ahead. I ain't got nothing to do with you.
Verse 6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish. What perish mean, y'all?
Die.
Exactly.
So he said, give strong drink to him that is ready to die, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
When would you be of a heavy heart?
When you're sad.
Exactly. Like an example for what?
A grown people.
Like what?
When someone dies.
Like death in the family or something like that. It's okay.
You just lost your job. You got a heavy heart right now. It's okay to get a sip of wine to help ease that pain.
Exactly.
He's not saying drink the whole bottle.
He didn't say get drunk. Remember, we just read drunkenness, right? We just read that that is, all of those things are basically wrong. You're not going to hear the kingdom of heaven behind that. He's saying, look, give strong drink to him, like he said, is ready to die, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Verse 7.
One more thing. Verse ready to die means this man, for example, may have cancer. He on his last deathbed, and his pain is just eating him away. That strong drink is helping him ease the pain. Mm-hmm. He's on his deathbed, basically. It's helping him out.
Exactly.
Verse 7. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more.
Because that drink does that, right? Once you start sipping a little bit, man, you start forgetting that poverty or those bad times. It's kind of it makes you merry, as the scriptures say. It makes you a little happier.
I've seen people drink by at a funeral, like in the parking lot or whatever.
Exactly.
They just give them a sip or whatever.
It's crazy how they even found a way to make money off of that. Now they just give you like morphine or something, so you don't feel it.
Exactly. So this is Proverbs. This is wisdom here. Solomon giving us wisdom. He's giving you what the strong drink is for, who it should be given to, and how. If you're in a position of power, or you're a king, you somebody as a leader, you're not supposed to be sitting around drunk all the time, or just be. You always got a bottle in your hand. Discipline yourself.
You know, there's people that as soon as they get up, like I said, I used to do that with beer, but there's some people like they drink strong drink like that. As soon as they get off work, they buying a bottle and them and their friends just sitting around, just getting sloppy drunk. It's tearing your body up. You ain't in the right mind. You're supposed to be ruling over your house. You're supposed to be a king over your own house. Mm-hmm. But you sitting around a drunk and sloppy all the time. You're not in your right mind.
So let's move on to Isaiah chapter 5, verse 11.
It's just one.
Just one verse.
Let me know when y'all ready. Everybody. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 11. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning.
What does woe mean? We've read this a couple of times in the scriptures.
Beware.
Start with a D.
Destruction.
Oh.
Remember, if you see the word woe in the Bible, that's meaning it's not something good. Woe unto them, destruction unto them that rise up early in the morning and do what?
That they may follow strong drink, and that continue until night, till wine inflame them.
Don't we know people like that?
Yeah.
If you've ever grown up in the hood, the ghetto,
country little towns, ain't
you
nothing
see
to do.
that. You see these old men up at the store early in the morning, got a 6-pack or a 12-pack, and they drinking from morning to night.
I knew someone like that. He died from cirrhosis of the liver.
They just tearing themselves up.
That was my grandpa.
Hey, I had a grandpa like that. I'm telling you.
It's privilege. It's prominent now.
It's prominent in Israel. Israelites, this is why he's telling us these things. He knew.
Destruction.
He had to give us these rules because he know how we are.
And it says, wine does what? It inflames them. Some of them be some angry people. That's how the people get in fights. When you go out to the club, that somebody just, Before they go out, they just drink it. Then they drink. Then they get to the club and they drink. Guess what?
By the time they get the
Fights are breaking out. All the people getting shot because they drunk in there. The wrong song come on. Somebody from this side of town drunk from that side. Yeah, they call it drink spirit, wine spirit.
The devil his spirit starts taking control of you. Now you out here, like he said, doing all this foolishness. You adding sin on top of sin.
Gin be having you just wide up and you just sitting up there just drinking gin all day, then going out. People inflamed in the club.
So he said, woe to them, man, destruction to them. We know people that do that.
Your eyes, your body is destroyed. Your mind gone. You're sleeping with anything because you ain't in the right mind.
So let's go to Tobit, which is in the Apocrypha. Then we in chapter 4 and verse 15. So Tobit, let me just give a little backdrop. Tobit's, let me see.
I forgot what tribe.
Let me see. So Tobias was his son, I think. Oh, yeah, Tobias was his son. So his dad about to die, basically. He said, and when I'm looking at verse 3, he said that when he had called him, he said, my son, when I am dead, bury me, despise not thy mother. He about to just give him some wise words. You know how we've read in other scriptures when one of our forefathers was about to pass, they had their sons there and they be like, hey, they start giving them game before he died. They like, hey, look, do this, do that, be a man, keep the commandments, do this, lead your people. They start giving him some knowledge, some like his last words, he want to give some wisdom. He don't want to be
From Naphtali. Tribe of Naphtali.
Tobit's from the tribe of Naphtali. So this is an Israelite. So we're going to go to verse 15. We're still dealing with strong drink.
Verse 15. Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken.
Do not drink wine to make thee drunken. Did it say don't drink wine and just stop? No, don't drink wine to get drunk. That shouldn't be our purpose. And like I said, we've been in those times. We can tell y'all from experience. It was times where that was our goal, was to get as sloppy as possible, so you can do as much wickedness as you can when you was in the world.
Wine is used for celebration, and wine is used for hard times. Meaning there's a time and place for everything, y'all. But if we in some kind of way to put it in our daily activities, man.
Mm-hmm. Because that's another thing. The liquor, ever heard of liquid courage? It's things that you do when you're on liquor that you wouldn't do when you sober minded. You just wouldn't even have the courage to do it. But when you drunk, it give you like a superpower. It's like it give you some type of feeling that you just like, you don't care. You like, I don't care what I'm doing, I'm gonna do it.
Jumping off stuff. Y'all be seeing them crazy people on YouTube. Y'all just don't know they drunk. Y'all can't smell their breath. End up dead as a donut.
So he's telling him this to his son. He's telling him, hey, do that to no man which thou hatest. Don't do something to somebody that you hate. Don't do it to them. Basically, the golden rule, do unto others as others do unto you. Or as you want them to do to you. He said, and don't be drinking no wine just to get drunk. Don't be just walking around just trying to be drunk, man. It's like he said, time and a place for it. And neither what?
Neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey.
And don't be walking around drunk in your journey, man. That can go into a lot of different things.
They got people everywhere they show up, they drunk, man. Family function, they show up drunk. On the way to work, they in their journey drunk. Got a container. I knew a lady that would work with me like that. One of these containers.
You smell something in their breath. You like,
come on, sister, old lady, old Israelite.
You smell it in their skin.
They come through your pores. And they thinking they.
When I used to go like to the football games and stuff, I used to be there drunk just in my journey, man.
So he giving them game, man. He telling them don't do that. He knew the laws. This was an Israelite brother. He knew what time. It's
not a good look, y'all.
So we just touched on the strong drink. We're gonna go to Leviticus 19, verse 28. One verse.
Says tattoo. Show the picture for And look what his tattoo say.
Hate the sin, not the sinner.
Tattooed on.
Wow. Hey man, we gotta learn. So tattoos. Leviticus 19, let's go to verse 28.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
So clear as day, he's telling us, don't be printing marks on your body and stuff, man. Cutting in your flesh. Brandings that they get in like colleges, sororities, and fraternities and stuff like that.
Q's be putting
Q,
they brand that Q on. And he say for the dead, because that's key. Because what do people put on them? R.I.P. mama. A picture of their grandparent on their arm or something like that. They was learning all that in Egypt. That's why as soon as they got out of Egypt, he told them, don't be doing that. Why? Because that's what they was doing. That's what they learned in Egypt. And we back in Egypt again.
So we're still okay right now to repent and just not do it again, right?
Exactly.
I definitely have.
If you know and you go get more tattoos, then you're blatantly you're doing it knowingly. You're knowingly committing sin.
Is it that like what's the word?
Idolatry.
No,
Abomination.
picking picking on God. Like you know how like when you did something to somebody and they don't like it, would you repeatedly do it?
Yeah, you just you hard headed, you stubborn. That's you being stubborn.
If any of y'all ever win a lottery or come across a lot of money and you know you got tattoos, you can get a laser surgery and get them removed. Some of us living day to day. I don't know how much the laser surgery costs, but I'm just saying, if you ever got wealthy enough to get it removed, get it removed. Remove the print. Them brands, you just stuck. You can't remove that.
But this is only for Israel too, right? Because
I mean, he was talking to Israel in the first 5 books. He's giving us particular laws. Yeah, the other nations are automatic. They already in sin. They don't even know the laws. They wasn't given the laws, so they're sinners by default. Just about. I mean,
they call them sinners in the Bible.
Exactly.
On Southern verse, when he say sinners, he's talking about the other nations.
Because he gave it to us, and we were supposed to be the ones governing everything. We was kings and queens. We was the rulers. So if we was in our rightful position and actually keeping these commandments, we would have everybody doing what's right. That's why the world is in the chaos that it's in now. That's why so much sin going on. Because we started it first. We started going off, and now our oppressors are ruling us, and they don't care about these laws and commandments. It wasn't given to them. Why would they keep them? This ain't got nothing to do with them, really.
The gods they worship tell them to do this type of stuff. Our God is against it. And y'all can see all of this stuff we really know it's prevalent in our nation. Like, I'm glad he picking and choosing these. We all got abominable foods. We all drinking and smoking. We all got getting tattoos at young ages.
Exactly. Younger and younger.
You about to say?
And for the boys especially, y'all love sports. You see all the stars, man. One of my favorite basketball players was Allen Iverson. That man, as soon as he got in the league, tatted his whole body.
He kind of started the whole thing.
He made it cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that tell you that he the reason they do the things that they do. That's what I'm saying. You start worshiping people more than worship God. You done forgot that the tattoos is a law that you shouldn't be doing, and you doing it because it look cool.
Imagine if Allen would have promoted all of the right stuff that's in the Bible.
Right.
And we ain't just singling out Allen Iverson. We just using
that as an example.
But then again, if you think about it, where is he now in his career with all that?
They say he was I ain't gonna put all that, but they say he had an alcohol problem too. A lot of these people have an alcohol problem.
And what you do, like you said, remember what we told, what he said earlier, Paul, when he was speaking to them, I think it was in Colossians, he said, these are things that you dealt with also in time past, pretty much. Like, so pray for people, man. If you know somebody need help with not eating unclean foods or drinking problems, stuff like that, pray for them, give them scriptures, help them out, man. Especially if you see they crying for that help, man, you gotta try to help them. That's your duty. Now, if they just being stubborn and hard headed, you can only do so much. But you can never stop praying for somebody. That's for sure.
Leviticus chapter
18. So we're gonna move on from that because that's pretty clear cut on the tattoos. Leviticus 18, we're gonna be at verse 22. I think 22 through 24. Yeah, 22 through 24.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, as with womankind. It is an abomination.
What are we dealing with right here? Homosexuality.
A man shouldn't lay with a woman. A man should not lay with another man as how he would with a woman.
It is an abomination. It's a filthy act according to God. He hates that. Some people gonna say God don't hate. No, he hates. It's a lot of things he hates. He said, don't do that. Verse 23.
Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion.
All that is confusion. That don't even look right. A kid will tell you that.
Sleeping with animals? Y'all don't think that's going on. It be in the news every now and then.
It just might slip past you, but it's
somebody in the news with a regular job. It could be your librarian, your teacher, your neighbor. Next thing you know, bam, they name and they picture on the news, sleeping with an animal, a dog, or a horse, or whatever. What the heck's going on out here, man?
just nothing but confusion.
Why he telling us this? Remember, we just came out of Egypt. It was going on. All of that type of stuff in Egypt, man.
It's going on now, right? Like you just said. So verse 24.
Do defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you.
So I just got through getting rid of all these people that's doing these things right in front of y'all. Y'all seen it, and why would you turn around and do the same things they doing and get yourself cast out? That don't make no sense. He's giving you game, giving you the laws.
How they be in Egyptology and the Bible letting you know what they was doing in Egypt?
It's madness. So he said all of this stuff, it's an abomination, it's confusion. Just think a child growing up in the world and they got two dads in the household kissing on each other and all this type of foolishness. Ain't that gonna be confusing to that child? They looking at everybody else's family with a mama and a daddy, and I got two daddies over here. What's going on? This is weird, man.
This wicked country we in is making all this stuff legal. They just made gay marriage legal. Guess what the next step gonna be?
Beast.
Laying down with a beast gonna be legal now. That's literally the next thing that's gonna be at your door.
Telling you, with more wicked and more wicked, man. The Lord gotta come back and cleanse all this. He gotta put fire down here and purify and purge this earth, man. It's too much been going on.
We are the temple of God. Remember that. That's the title of the lesson. Ye are the temple of God. And people out here doing this stuff with their temple.
Destroying it. Like when we were talking about the disease and stuff earlier. This is one of the most prevalent things, like you said, that this homosexuality that's rampant. And especially like when you talking about, because it's not always blatant, put it that way. You got these down low brothers that you hear about. They got wives, but guess what they doing on the side? They over there sleeping with men. It's a hey, I ain't even gonna touch on that. I don't want nobody over there going looking up some crazy stuff. There's people out here doing some crazy stuff and putting people on blast for that stuff.
Imagine you can look back at open up your body and see all the people that you done defiled your body with. If you one of them type of people, that's what that picture is basically portraying, man. That's exactly what's going. Look at this woman. I'm assuming that's a woman. Look how many men she done laid down with.
They say you give a piece of your.
Yeah, a piece of y'all won. When you doing that stuff, you won with this person.
The Bible say.
Just disgusting.
She won with a whole city look like.
Wow. It's just
neighborhood.
disgusting, man.
It's the neighborhood. Just community lady. Concubine.
Getting passed around, man. Don't do that, man. So let's go to chapter 20.
That's why I say there shall be no whores of the daughter of Israel.
So chapter 20, verse 13, just one verse.
Verse 13. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. if a man also lie with mankind, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
Hey, whether you taking or receiving, man, y'all
And some
both.
some people say, well, I ain't the one that was bent over, so I ain't the gay one. What the Bible say?
It says they both have committed an abomination. We telling, hey, it sounds crazy. It's
Y'all
humorous
kids.
in a way, y'all. But hey, this is real. This is serious, man.
When you
It's
get
things
old
like
enough,
this
y'all
going
gonna
on.
be hearing stuff like this, man. They'll justify anything.
Exactly. It says they shall surely be put to death, and their blood shall be upon them, man. Don't play with this type of stuff. Remember, before Christ came too, this is stuff that you died for. This is stuff you automatic death. Yeah,
I told you AIDS is more prevalent in the homosexual community. God is judging them people. They not just getting this disease for no reason.
What story was that when that gay club got shot up?
Oh, I
Y'all remember that in Orlando or something?
Yeah.
All the people died. You don't think that was the Lord judging people? Yeah, the Lord, he doing things for a reason, man.
A spot to meet up.
A spot where gay people meeting up and doing, you know what they doing,
Taking
taking drugs.
going home and laying down with a man like a woman.
And you want, and see, us as people, we just look at something and we all trying to show sympathy for these people, but they living wicked, man.
Got the rainbow flag all on their Facebook page. Israelite people.
Yeah, they were all Hispanic.
You don't know why God. It's certain things, like he said, when you see people dying and stuff, you don't know what them people was into, man. It's, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You pray and you hope that your people don't get caught up with this type of stuff. But hey, it's happening.
And
So-
they are wearing the clothing differently. Like the men are wearing women's clothing.
It's confusing.
We that's a matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. Just I'm glad you touched on that. Just so we can have a reminder, because that's another thing that I just seen recently. Is they got these men out here they got these new line of clothing with men's dresses and skirts, suit skirts and suit dresses and all this type of stuff, and high heels for men now.
Were they all in gray?
Yeah, high heels. They had high heels on. This is crazy, man. This is madness.
Young Thug's album cover. He had a dress on.
Wow.
Young Thug.
Let's read the law in there real quick. This is not in there, but we're going to read it because this is
We'll add it in.
Deuteronomy 22:5. It reads, "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God." Again, these are the laws Moses was giving to us. We came out of Egypt. So obviously that was going on in that time. It's going on today. We know what women's clothing is. We know what men's clothing is. Why is there any type of confusion? Why are we running around talking about there's women pants or there's men's skirts or there's men's dresses or men tights or rompers? Come on, man. Stop it. Just quit, man. Y'all just keep the commandments, man. If you a man, get you some pants and a shirt.
People like Prince.
They're real dresses.
And you know it's wrong if you have to put men in front of it.
Exactly.
Wow.
You gotta put men, or if you gotta designate this is a man this or a woman that. No. You got a garment, you got a garment. Where?
Why does pants have a zip in the front?
Oh, to keep our.
When you gotta pee, you supposed to put the zipper right and then you urinate out the little zipper part.
Now, like.
Women can't stand up and do that. That's proof right there. A woman not supposed to be wearing pants. We were just brought up in this wicked society
Exactly.
where they made that the norm. So now you're confused. Remember, it's confusion now. We do stuff that don't make sense and we don't even know why. That's why women get yeast infections and stuff like that for wearing them pants. It's 100 degrees outside. You got on pants and your body can't breathe now.
That's exactly right. And they put a different type of spirit
But
on
you
you
get a
too.
pill. Yeah, you get a pill instead of wearing the right clothing or whatever.
Yeah, I've heard the term "who wears the pants in the family or in the relationship." So, like you said, there's some women out there that they want to be the man. They want to be a man. In a sense,
And
they don't want all
men.
they don't want all that come with it, but yet they want the title of I'm the man or I'm the one in charge.
And they
There's
got
an order
men-
to everything.
They got men that don't mind the women
Exactly.
wearing the pants.
That's just sit back and don't want to lead. We gotta change that, y'all. We raising young boys to be leaders.
Boys to men.
Teaching y'all what it is to be the head of the family. Cause you're gonna have a family. You're gonna have to know these things in order to keep your house in order and in control. If you don't, it's gonna be just a bunch of wickedness going on. So I just want to touch on that. We got one more verse in this homosexuality topic. We're gonna go to 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 9 and 10. If you got any questions, let me know.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
So don't you know that the unrighteous ain't gonna get the kingdom? Don't you know that? You should know that by now, right?
Be not deceived.
Don't be fooled.
Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
Stop right here. So we know, well, we're gonna go over it. Fornicators, idolaters, adulterers. Let's click on effeminate. Soft. In a bad sense. Well, look at this.
A boy
kept for homosexual relations with a man. Of a male who submits his body to unnatural lewdness. Hey.
A male prostitute.
There's a lot of effeminate men out here.
Sissies.
And you can spot them, man. You can tell a person by the way they act, man. The way they talk, the way they walk. I know it's a lot of, especially our women know for sure. They can tell, they can spot out homos quick. They just know. They be like,
if you
like,
roll
they more
your,
gay.
You
like,
rolling your neck when you talk. If your wrist got a little lip in it, if you speak like a woman, if you communicate like a woman, like, man, you acting like a girl right now. That's an effeminate man.
Exactly. So he said, he just said the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom. And he's telling you, don't be fooled. These are things that are unrighteous. So he said effeminate. He said also, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Didn't we just read, if you sleep with a man like you sleep with a woman, that's an abomination? So you abusing yourself with mankind.
Fortify your members.
Control yourself, man. And, hey, this is not to bash anybody. This is edification for our people. If you're dealing with this sin, if you know somebody that's dealing with this sin, hey, pray for them. Tell them, like, you need to quit, man. This is not good. This is not right. God didn't make you a man for you to be out here sleeping with other men. Quit doing that, man. That's disgusting.
It'll be a shame for us to miss the kingdom of heaven for dealing with any of these things. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth the good that's going to come to you for doing what's right, y'all. That's why we got to just overcome these lustful, whatever your lust is. Mm-hmm. Like I said, mine was weed. I don't want to miss the kingdom of heaven over something like that. Somebody got something they dealing with. Overcome that. It's gonna be everybody got to walk. Imagine if the kingdom of heaven was easy. He's trying to see who really loves him, who really want to make it. So it's gonna be something in your life. You may not even thought about it yet, but it's something in your life that you're gonna have to give up, and the Lord testing you.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing. There's a reason why this is not being preached in the church. We talk about it all the time. It's because the pastors don't want to lose out on that on their flock that's bringing them all that money. Mm-hmm. Don't you think there's some gays out there in them churches? People out there dealing with drunkenness. People out there eating pork. People out there just getting tattooed every week. It's people out there, but they don't want to touch on it because they don't want to offend nobody. Nah, man. The word is going to convict you. And then we're going to see who really going to keep the commandments and who not.
The crowd get thinner when you pull this stuff out.
And the Lord ain't with no numbers game. It ain't a numbers game with him. He really trying to see who's about it and who ain't. If you about this word, you going to not do these things, man. Remember, he always took the least and made them overcome.
The masses.
The masses. He would always do that. So he not really looking for numbers anyway. So if they read the Bible, they would know that. They would know these big old churches with thousands of people in it. Man, you know it's something wrong.
You should avoid that.
You should avoid that at all costs. Because the Lord ain't dealing with that. Like,
And usually in the churches, the choir director and even the youth.
thank you, man.
Yeah, it's all out those. Like,
Everybody know it too. The whole church know he gay.
but boy, can he play that piano?
He can
boy.
sing, boy.
Hey, cutting up. They don't mind.
Know that boy gay and say, just letting that fly. Ain't nobody saying nothing to him. Boy, you need to stop
You
it.
gonna run him off. Like they trying to hush you up. Let's let somebody say it a little too loud in church. Somebody gonna try to hush you up, man. Now how wrong is that?
Tell you, man. We gotta quit that, man. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God.
So all of that stuff, none of these people gonna inherit the kingdom of God.
What is extortioners?
This is extortion. They got a kid in your class. It's lunchtime. You bigger than him, so you make him buy you candy every day. If you don't buy me something, I'ma whoop you. You extorting that man. Do my homework before I beat your whatever. That's extortion. Bullying somebody. They got grown people that get bullied like that. That's what Bloods and Crips do to people in their neighborhood. A black man set up a business, which is holy for his community. A gang will come over there and say, man, we're going to shoot up, we're going to terrorize your store unless you give us 20% every week.
You robbing them people.
That's
Basically
extortion.
robbing.
You done kidnap somebody's kid and say, hey, you call their cell phone. If you don't give me this amount of money by 3 o'clock, we're going to kill your dog. That's extortion. It's happening in Israel.
So we gonna move on. Good examples. Good question. We going over to Genesis 3:19. So now we're about to talk about cremation. I don't know if it's something we don't really touch on a lot, but everybody know we gotta die, and there's a right way and a wrong way to deal with the body after you dead. Because remember, our body is not ours, right? He said it's God. We just rent it. You are the temple. So let's read Genesis 3:19.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shall thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and dust shalt thou return.
Let's click on dust just so we get the understanding. Dry earth, the ground, right? When it says the ash, it's not talking about like burnt ashes. It's talking about the ash of the ground.
Get broken down into the dust form.
Exactly. So this is when he was talking to Adam after he had after him and Eve ate of the forbidden fruit, or what we know today was they just was dealing with sin. He said, because of that, this is what you're gonna deal with. Sweat of thy face, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return to the ground. And for out of it was thou taken. Remember, he formed us from the dust of the ground, formed us from the lower state. And that's how we gonna return when we die. This is not speaking on anything of burning your body and
They seen our dead bodies dissolve. It ain't nothing but bones left, right?
Exactly.
What happened to all that flesh and all of that?
it returns back to the earth where it came from. We're getting the proper we're getting the laws basically on burial and how to deal with your deceased family members, or whenever you die, your kids know how to deal with you. Cause there's people that's out here getting cremations.
Show them a picture of cremation. Just if you type in cremation, fire gonna show up. Meaning they burn the.
We're gonna read a verse about that.
Just type in. See what they gotta do to somebody to cremate the body? What did it say when you die that
Stick your body in the fire. It don't say that no. That's not biblical. We just putting it out there. Cause these are things we don't discuss a lot. Cause you might have a request from a family member that say to do that. They gonna put that, hey, I want to be cremated. I don't want to
Put
be
me in a jar and set me right there by the TV or something.
Yep.
Put my ashes in a jar.
So that's that one. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 20.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 20. All go into one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again.
Again, that dust, the ground, the earth.
That one place is the ground.
That's how you came. That's how you formed. How you going back? Not yet have you seen a verse that say you're gonna be. You should stick your body into the fire and be burned.
Dead body.
Don't say that. We're gonna get proof right here in Genesis chapter 47, 29 through 30. This is when our forefather Jacob.
Who is Jacob? Jacob changed his name to what?
Israel. And he's the forefather of who?
The
12 tribes of Israel. So verse 29.
And the time drew nigh that Israel must die.
Israel is Jacob. So the time drew near that Israel or Jacob, he was about to die.
And he called his son Joseph and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh and deal kindly and truly with me. When he say that, that's just meaning make a promise to me. They used to say, do this and do this as a promise. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt.
Don't bury me in Egypt. You say don't burn me in Egypt?
Burn.
He said bury me. Letting you know that it's a burial. This ain't no, I'm going to burn you up, put you in a vase, put your ashes in a vase, and we're going to do whatever we want to do. Verse 30.
But I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, which is Joseph, I will do as thou hast said.
So he said, all right, Pops, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bury you with the rest of our forefathers, which we've talked about that before, how that was part of what we did. You have a burying plot, and you want to be buried next to your people. He didn't say anything about burning them up. We just showing you that there's a law on that. We don't deal like that.
We know our customs. We don't deal with that.
We don't. That's not one of our customs that we do. So let's go to Leviticus 18 and 21. Something that our people was dealing with. Oh, let me see. 18, 21. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read verse 21.
Leviticus chapter 18, verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech. Who is Molech? The god of who? Hey.
It's a deity.
The god of the Ammonites and Phoenicians, to whom some Israelites sacrificed their infants in the valley of Hinnom. So they was killing their babies in the name of that false god. So 21, let's read it again.
Read it.
And thou shalt not let any of thy seed, which is your children, pass through the fire to Molech.
Hold on.
Oh, so what cremation dealing with? Your body is passing through the fire, right?
We don't deal like that. That's not our custom. So hey, if you know anybody that's thinking about that, just tell them, man, we don't do that, man. That's not what we do.
Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord.
So don't be profaning the name of the Lord by doing that.
They were sacrificing their kids alive, but at the same time, you don't put your body in the grave as well. I mean, in the fire as well. You can't cremate nobody without passing through the fire.
That's what I want to see something real quick. Show y'all a quick video.
Shout out to Black Outlaw for life.
Click was gone. Y'all know who the Outlaws is?
Look at this. The Outlaws say they smoked Tupac's ashes. This is the things our people do. We get into.
Is that true? Yeah, it's definitely.
So basically, he died, right? Obviously, in order to smoke his ashes, what had to happen?
No.
But what I'm saying, his body got burned up. He got cremated. Remember the lesson Larry did where he said a lot of people do things that's right in their own eyes? They thinking they said they had a memorial for him. I'm sure they thinking they doing something right. First of all, we just talked about smoking and stuff, right? Didn't we? We just talked about smoking, so that's a sin already. You done got the man body cremated, that's a sin. Then you over here smoking the ashes. You doing all, you just sin on top of sin on top of sin. These are the things we
And he's
get
still
into.
smoking 20 years later.
Calling himself getting closer to Pop.
Listen to what they saying.
Yeah, hit the beach, do a lot of shit he liked in the beach. You know, some weed, some chicken wings, he loved orange soda, all that kind of shit. Wings in the ocean. Yeah, Pac loved that kind of shit. So, we was just giving him our own, farewell and that night.
They giving him a farewell.
I forgot which one of us came up with it, they had his ashes and shit. And
I came up with that shit. If you listen to Black Jesus, he said, "Last wishes, nigga, smoke my ashes." You know what I mean? So that was a request. You know what I mean? That he had. Now whether
They heard it in a song, and they feeling like he said that that's what they need to do. Now, like he said, they looking at it as a request. He done put it in the song, they done took it and said, yeah, man, he said he want us to smoke his ashes, so that's what we gonna do.
And her mama, they say her mama, I don't know if she was there when they smoked it, but they was at the memorial and his mother was there and everything. Man, I wish someone in my family, my mama, I don't know if Corn would pass and I'm there. I wish somebody would talk about we gonna burn his body up and smoke it. All hell gonna break loose in there. You see how far gone we are mentally as a people?
They thinking they doing something right. This they homeboy. This is somebody you grew up with.
Look how cool he sitting back there, he cool. Yeah, we the ones that smoked Tupac
He
ass.
said, yeah, that was my idea.
Like, come on, y'all.
Excuse me, everybody. Lost connection for a second. But anyway, y'all get the picture, man. Basically, what they basically was doing, or what they was saying was, they got his ashes, it was cremated. They smoked the ashes. Talking about it made them one with Pac, and we got a little bit of him in us now. Come on, man, stop it. That's wicked, man. That ain't got nothing. That ain't nowhere in the Bible where it say do that.
They Muslims. They believe in them. One of them actually stay over there in overseas in the Middle East.
So that's dealing with that. I just wanted to touch on that briefly because with deaths going on, just want to let people know these are things you need to know. What your customs are. We gotta get back to our customs.
What do they call cigarettes? Cancer sticks. Man, look at it.
So we on Exodus 22 and 16. Almost done. So a couple more to go. Couple more topics.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. Exodus when we was leaving Egypt, headed into the promised land.
So now we about to be dealing with fornication. Another thing our people dealing with.
Verse 16. If a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So this is the law. If you speak game to a woman that she's not promised to any man, she's single, she ain't engaged to be married or anything, and you lie with her, meaning you lay down and have sex with that woman,
That's your wife.
he shall surely endow her to be his wife. That's gonna be your wife. That's the law on that.
Ain't no hit it and quit it. Ain't no one night stands. Ain't no we just dating it. Then you move on to the next person and I move on to the next person. You shall surely endow her to be. That's yours now.
Yep.
Congratulations. Everybody come shake his hand. You're now married.
That's the sex itself is an act of marriage. Back when our forefathers, what they were supposed to do was,
again.
which one?
oh yeah, so our forefathers, they was after they got married, they would go into the chamber, and that's what they would do, because that's your wife now.
Like how many husbands she got? I mean, that she didn't lie down with this many people.
I saw a post today that said
It wasn't. He explained it with. He explained the ceremony. People would. It was like a wedding, but guess what? In that same room, you know how they got a honeymoon? You just didn't go on the honeymoon. You went on the honeymoon after. But they had an actual chamber at the wedding where they would go consummate the marriage. Then when they come out of, it's all in the other verses. Then when they come out of the chamber, they would hold up a sheet
to let it be known that she wasn't,
that she was a virgin.
Right.
They would wrap that bloody sheet up and give it to the father, that girl's father. And this is your proof that your wife, your daughter is not my husband. That's proof that she's righteous. Because this man might come around years later and say she wasn't no virgin. Guess what? The daddy got the sheet. Bam, here it is right here. You can't lie on my daughter.
So this is the law, man. Like he said, ain't no one night stands, ain't no just, I'm going to sleep with her for a little while, we together a few months, then I go on to the next one. Nope. Every time you lay down with somebody, that's your wife. It's your husband. Y'all one now. Y'all remember the story with when Christ was talking noise to that woman at Jacob's well? And said, don't you got about 5 husbands? That's what he was talking about.
He know exactly who you sleeping with.
He knew what she was.
Surely this is a man of God. How this man know my personal business? He didn't just say sleeping around. He gave the exact number.
So let's go to Ephesians 5:5.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 5. For this ye know, that no whoremonger, no unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God.
So, we've heard the word whore. See what whoremonger is.
It's a male whore, right?
Yeah.
A man who prostitutes his body to another's lust for hire. A male prostitute. Man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse or fornicate. That's what you're doing. So these players that you so-called see out there, sleeping around, Mr. Steal Your Girl, Trey Songz, the rappers that's out here, they just going from woman to woman. They letting you know that they whoremongers.
Bible call them whoremongers. And they shall won't do what? Inherit the kingdom of Christ.
They don't have any inheritance in the kingdom. So hey, have fun. Cause guess what? You're not getting the kingdom if you just gonna stay in that lifestyle.
We the temple of God. Mortify your members, man.
Mortify yourself. Control yourself. Get you one woman.
Don't let your members get you missing the kingdom.
Yeah, Paul told them too. He said, look, if before you even he said if it's get you a wife, that way you ain't gotta worry about that. Yeah. You got some cause it's. He would rather a bishop, like he said, what he said, a bishop's supposed to be blameless and, husband of one wife. But there's also people that's out there that don't, they try to be in the truth and they ain't really worried about no woman. They don't marry.
Christ didn't have a wife.
Right.
Paul didn't have a wife. But he's saying some of y'all
not strong enough for that.
Y'all will be eyeballing everything and go and get you a wife, man.
Get you a wife. That way, that sin won't fall on you. You got your wife. Marriage is honorable, so
that's why these priests sleeping with these little boys and all that. They should have got them a wife. They trying to play righteous, can't help.
Let's go to Revelation 21:8. I read it. It says, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers, sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So guess what? That second death, that fire and brimstone is coming to you if you can't mortify your members and stop sleeping around.
The tongue is a member too. These people that be lying. But like he said, whoremongers. Whoremonger gonna go to the same place where the murderers go.
You can be doing everything else right. You helping people out. You keeping the Sabbath. You ain't eating pork, shrimp. You done everything you supposed to do, but you around here sleeping with everybody. Can't control that. Hey, you got the same punishment.
Liars too. Doing all that, but you can't tell the truth for nothing. You gonna meet the second death.
So why lose the kingdom behind that? Control yourself.
You are the temple of God.
This is things that we have to tell our people because that's going on in the churches now. You got all type of people in the church doing fornicating.
Remember Judges? Last week we was reading Judges. They was doing all that. Whoremongers, sleeping with the women in that was out in front of the church, beating on the door to bring this man out so they could sleep with this man.
Just a wickedness.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
He's going to judge those people in the end. Marriage is honorable. Get married, man. It's an honorable thing to say you got a wife or a husband. And your bed is undefiled. Remember we just talked about a lot of those things that defile you. The fornicating and homosexuality and all that type of stuff. But guess what? If you married to a woman, make that clear. You married to a woman or a woman married to a man, guess what? That's honorable in the Most High's eyes. And your bed is undefiled. What y'all doing in your bedroom is that's between y'all. That's your woman.
That's a blessing to be God's eyes.
Now y'all can be fruitful. Be fruitful and multiply now. But he didn't mean be fruitful in the sense of going around sleeping with everybody and have 10 different baby mamas. No, that's not what he has told you to do.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, twist that scripture.
He's told me to be fruitful and multiply.
Replenish the earth.
Come on, man. Stop being wicked. Quit trying to find loopholes. That's what our people do. So we just touched on that. So flip over. We're going to be in
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 26 and 27. Interracial marriage is the top.
Nehemiah 13.
26
and 27. So, like you said, this is going to touch on interracial marriage. This might offend some people, but you got to know the truth. The Lord dealing this is going on heavy right now.
It's funny how everything he going over is like, damn, how we doing all of this bad in Israel. Like, look how long this sheet was, look how long this topic was, and we all in Israel as a whole is doing all of this crazy stuff, y'all. We in trouble.
But we thinking it's right because the world has made these things acceptable. They've turned evil into good and good into evil. So we have to know the difference. Look, the Lord's ways is not our ways. So quit trying to think that you know more than God. Oh, no, he ain't worried about that. Look, we're going to read it. So Nehemiah 13 and 26.
Verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Who is Solomon? He said he's the king of who? Israel, right?
Son of David.
So he's about to tell you what things Solomon sinned by. And Solomon was one of the wisest king that there was in Israel at the time.
Yet among many nations where there were no king like him. Who was beloved of his God.
The Lord loved Solomon.
And God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
But nevertheless, though he was loved by God, he was wise, he was a king over Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Shall we not hearken unto you to do all this great evil? Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil? To transgress against our God in marrying strange wives?
Strange wives. What is strange wives? Some people may not know. Somebody that's not of your nation. They're a foreigner, alien of Israel. They're not in the 12 tribes. Somebody outside your nation. It says, shall we then hearken unto you to do this great evil? They calling marrying strange wives evil.
Great evil.
Great evil.
To transgress against our God. That's a transgression. You're breaking God's commandments and marrying these strange wives.
And there's a reason why he's telling you not to do this. There's a reason. We're about to read it. Deuteronomy chapter 7, 1 through 4. We about to read why he's telling you to do these things. This is going to explain it right here, Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whether thou goest to possess it, and cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Geshurites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. And thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
So, hey, first of all, he told us to go in there and destroy them. Don't make a covenant with them. Don't show no mercy on these people. Go in this land and get rid of them, like I told you. Verse 3.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Don't marry them.
Thy daughter shall they not give unto his son.
Don't give your daughters to their sons.
Nor his daughter shall thou take unto thy son.
Don't take your sons and let them marry their daughters. It's clear cut. He covered all bases. It ain't like the man can do it or the woman can do it. No, he said don't let your son or daughters, don't deal with them.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
So this is the reason. He said they gonna turn you away from following me at the end of the day. That they what?
May serve other gods.
You gonna end up serving other gods. You gonna serve their God. They don't serve the same God you serve. They don't have the same laws you have. So guess what? You go marry that Edomite, go marry an Esau. She do all this wickedness. You love her so much. Guess what? You gonna do anything for that woman, right? Even if that means committing some sin.
Eating pork and all that. You trying to say we can't eat pork. She said, nah, my baby gonna eat this pork. Nah, we can't worship on go to Easter. Nah, my family, we gonna have Easter. We gonna celebrate Christmas.
Exactly. They're gonna eventually, you might be strong for a minute. Oh no, look, I don't do this, I don't do that. And she, okay. But guess what? Later on down the line, eventually, she's gonna start getting it. It's gonna creep in until finally you just give in. All right, baby. What we gonna wear? We're going to grandma's house for Christmas. All right, baby.
You might be at work. You don't know what she at home teaching that kid. Because the woman the one that's raising that kid.
Why wouldn't you marry somebody from the nation of Israel that's learning these laws? Don't y'all want to be on the same page? It don't make sense if one person is an Israelite and another person is a Asian or Muslim or whatever it is. Y'all just got two different views on life. Y'all don't agree on things, but y'all gonna raise a family together? That don't even make sense. How can two walk together unless they be agreed, right? That's what the scriptures say. So he said they gonna turn you away from following me. They shall serve other gods and what?
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
You're gonna be destroyed behind that.
Solomon lost the kingdom behind that. Solomon started making little idols and temples for the other gods for all these women in Israel.
Yep. That man sinned by that thing. He told you. So you got some people that'll try to justify and say, well, Solomon did it, or this person in the Bible did it.
He's the wisest king.
Look, he just told you that Solomon sinned by those things. He lost the kingdom was split behind these sins. So why would you go back and do that? That don't make no sense. Everything that's in here is for our learning.
Ezra, chapter 10, 2 and 3.
Ezra 10, 2 and 3.
And Shechaniah, the son of Jaleel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, We have trespassed against our God, and we have taken strange wives of the people of the land. Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing.
So they just confessed they sins. They said, man, we've trespassed against God. We've taken strange wives. Remember, they found the Bible. They blew the dust off the Bible and started learning some stuff. They was like, oh, we've been doing this is right. We supposed to be doing this. We supposed to be doing that. Wait a minute. He said we're not supposed to be marrying strange wives. So they said, look, we trespassed against God. We've taken strange wives.
Verse 3. Now therefore let us make a covenant with our God, and to put away all the wives, and such as born of them, according to the counsel of my Lord, and of those that tremble at the commandment of our God. Let it be done according to the law.
So we need to be living by the law. We got to put away these strange wives, man. So, hey, man, get out while you can, man. Remember the movie Get Out? Get out, man.
I ain't even think of that.
Get out, man. Leave
Get
it alone.
Based off Ezra, man.
Leave it alone, man. Especially if you, because it's going to be even harder the longer you dealing with it. Y'all end up having kids together and all that type of stuff, man. You learn the truth. You got decisions to make, man. It's crazy, man. Now you done dibbled and dabbled to the point where you can't get out of it now.
Remember I was saying some people, everybody got something that they got to deal with. This might be your friend or your neighbor stuff that he got to deal with. He got to look this lady in the eye he been married to for 10, 15 years and tell her, I got to go. Verse 4, arise.
I'm sorry, that's it. It was just 2 and 3. So basically y'all see, oh, we got one more. Tobit
chapter 4, 5 and 6.
Five and 6. So remember, this is in that same chapter we read earlier where he told them don't be drinking and whatnot to get drunk.
Daddy
So
giving him
this
more.
is more game he was telling them.
Tobit daddy Tobias telling him more stuff. So verse 5, my son, be mindful of the Lord our God all thy days.
Be mindful of the Lord, man. Think on his ways.
And let not thy will be set to sin.
Mortify yourself. Don't let your will be set to sin. Don't be doing all that.
And to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of the unrighteousness. For if thou deal truly, thy doings shall prosperly succeed to them, and to all them that live justly.
So, hey, if you deal truly, you keeping the commandments, you're going to prosper and succeed in this life. And to all them that live justly. Justice keeping the commandments. So skip down to verse 12.
Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. It didn't say wives plural.
The wife, one wife. Chiefly means mainly. Mainly, you need to take you a wife of the seed of your fathers. That's because he just told him, beware of all whoredom, my son. And mainly take a wife of the seed of your fathers.
And take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of prophets. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's letting you know we are the children of the prophet. Mm-hmm. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Wow. So that's heavy, man. He was giving them game, man. Hey, take you a woman from your tribe, man. From the tribes of Israel. Don't be taking no strange woman to wife. Because if you know anything about it, you going to end up giving your inheritance over to the enemy, man.
Michael Jackson.
Now when you die, guess what? Who you think they going to get that money to? What your possessions gonna end up going to? They going to the oppressor, man. Keep it in the family, man. I don't know if y'all just saw. It's been some talk going on online or Facebook, whatever. What's the dude name? Umar Johnson.
Yeah,
Umar was on
The Breakfast Club.
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin's thing was going off on men that's marrying these white women.
It was offended.
Some people that's offended by, but the man was speaking truth, man. He was like, "Hey, your biggest commitment to the black family in his eyes, but we talking Israelite from the Israelite family. Your biggest commitment is to make sure you keep the family together. How you gonna be talking about I'm for the people and I'm all, but you got a white wife or Asian white, Edomite wife, whatever it is. They're not in the nation of Israel. That don't make sense. How are you furthering the cause? It starts with you. It starts in the family. So hey, he shook up. He ruffled some feathers with that. But hey, people need to hear that, cause there's some coons out here. I hate to say it, man. There's some coons out here that they love their oppressors so much that as soon as they get on, that's what they going to. As soon as they get a little money, they
Truth
leave.
come out then. You really see who love their people as soon as they get some money.
They leave their money. They get their money and they leave their people to the side. Go get them somebody from the other nations, man. They gotta have them, man. They don't love their people like this.
They look down on the black woman or the Latino woman or the native. I'm too good for that.
I think black women are like number one when it comes to being unmarried. I think or something like that. If you look at the statistics that they do, they number one when it comes to being unmarried. So it's because our brothers, we not marrying our sisters. We not marrying them. We rather just knock them down and then go marry the white chick. That don't make sense. Come on, man. Leave them alone.
Be faithful as a mother to them, but treated your own.
You whoring out your sisters, but you go run to them and go marry them and just, treat them like queens, man. And the Lord said the other nations is like dogs to him. But you gonna treat the dog better than the. Come on, man. That don't even make sense.
Hey, he touching on stuff that's real prevalent, man.
I
didn't even know we was in this bad of shape. Like,
this is heavy in our community.
I don't know which one we doing worse than the other. Like, it's a race to the finish line of wickedness with Israel, man. I see why where we at right now.
Remember, the title is "You Are the Temple of God." So you're defiling your temple by even doing that.
Our temple is a wreck, man.
We toe up, man. So let's
Exodus chapter 32, 2 and 3. This is the last three verses. Exodus chapter 32, verse 2 and 3.
So let's get some understanding here.
This is dealing with, said earrings.
Piercings. There's piercings and earrings and things.
He said Alicia wanted to
I had to get some understanding about the nose ring and the earrings and all of that. Let's touch on it.
So Exodus 32, 2 and 3. And Aaron said unto them, which is the children of Israel, break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives and your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Verse 3.
And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. So that's proof that men in Israel wore what?
Earrings.
Exactly.
They wore earrings, but let's click on it too. What was that?
That was out there.
You in the front of the camera.
My bad, YouTube.
Scared me.
So you click on earring. We're gonna get the definition.
Oh yeah.
It says what? Ring, nose ring, earring. It's a jewel, right? Nose ring, women's ornament. Earring, ornament of men and women. So there was the women we wore nose rings back in the day. That was
Key
lawful.
word for nose ring is what?
Women.
Women's ornament. I'm glad they put that in there, but later on this is gonna explain it. But they doing the work for you. Earring, ornament of men or women.
There were certain things that we was able to do and not able to do. Right?
So a man can get a earring.
Yeah. We wore earrings.
We're
gonna get some more. We're gonna get another verse.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry.
Nah, that's what we here for.
I took his out and wouldn't let it get repaired.
Look, and he say the sons. He say your sons and your daughters. So the sons had earrings, the daughters had earrings.
Remember, at that time, we was all. You remember that song, All Gold Everything? We had the best of the best, man. We rock gold earrings and chains and bracelets, and we had all of that.
Remember,
that's why we have a want for those things now. When you see all the rappers and all that, they love all that. That's cause but see, they do it in excess. Yeah. They doing too much, and we in poverty yet they spending all their money on all of that.
If you ain't got no money in your house, but you shine,
that don't make no sense.
You got a problem.
You own a house, but you got.
If your grades bad, but you worry your mama about earrings, you need to sit down somewhere.
Get your priorities straight. So we're gonna go to chapter 35, 20 and 22. 23, 22.
Exodus chapter 35, verse 20. And all the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses. And they came, every one whose heart stirred him up, and every one whom his spirit made willing. And they brought the Lord's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, and for all his servants, and for the holy garments.
Mm-hmm.
And there came both men and women.
Both what?
Men and women.
So both men and women?
As many as were willingly hearted, and brought bracelets.
They brought bracelets.
And earrings.
Earrings.
And rings.
Rings.
And tablets, excuse me. All jewels of gold. Every man that offered an offering of gold unto the Lord.
So they offered the gold up to the Lord. They had gold, and this was pure gold too. It wasn't that fake stuff, man.
Wasn't Johnny, man.
This wasn't that fake stuff. But like I said, verse 22, the point, it said they came both men and women, and they was bringing their bracelets and earrings and all of that to them. So again, it's showing you. And when we clicked on it, it showed you that even the women, they had their nose rings and stuff like that too. So another thing, this ain't to just throw the Pac under the bus, but he had the nose ring. You got men with nose rings and stuff like that. You got men with lip rings. You got
them wearing all this stuff. No.
But it's not. It don't even stop there. They doing all they piercing the lips. They piercing all this up on the ears. I mean, piercings all around. Piercings in the navels and piercing on the nipple rings and all that. Come on, man. Hey, I'm serious. It's out there. I'm serious, man.
And see, feminine.
You doing stuff that's not according. You doing too much. Come on.
They put.
You didn't see when we clicked on earring. It didn't say navel rings and lip rings and all of that.
It gave you
it let you know they had an earring.
The nose ring and the earring.
And that was okay to God?
Yeah, they offered this stuff up. This was an offering to God. So they not gonna. You don't offer up defiled stuff to God. You know what I'm saying? So they was about to give an offering. Go ahead.
No. I was just about to say, this is in Exodus, and they're offering up the God. This ain't when they made the golden calf.
Yeah. Now the previous verse, that they was doing wickedness with that. They was taking all that gold, and then they ended up making the golden calf. That was wicked. Mm-hmm. But it was showing you that they did have, the men had earrings, women had nose rings, and all that type of stuff. But they did for the wicked that. This was, they was offering up an offering unto God.
So
Moses wouldn't allow them to be offering up no abomination.
That was Aaron. When Moses went up to get the commandment,
Moses wasn't playing that. So then we on Numbers 31 and 50.
It's the last verse. Numbers chapter 31, verse 50.
I'll read it.
Ye are the temple of God.
So it says, we have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, what every man hath gotten.
So what is an oblation? Basically an offering. How they just did in the other.
Like you said, an offering. You're presenting something.
Sacrifice.
So we have therefore brought an oblation for the Lord, what every man hath gotten of jewels of gold, chains and bracelets, rings, earrings, and tablets, to make an atonement for our souls before the Lord.
Nah, that's just basically what he been saying all day. He's letting you know exactly what we had. Gold chains, bracelets, rings, earrings, tablets, to make an atonement for the souls before the Lord.
So it was acceptable for our men to have earrings, but we didn't have it. There's you see the TVs, and what you see on TV is they go to the extreme with this stuff. Like I said, they piercing all type of parts of their bodies and stuff.
They had
chains and all that, but we at a lower state right now. This is at a time when we was on top. We knew who we were. We were kings and queens at that point. So yeah, we had an abundance of all things. But now we done sinned and he done took from us. But now we using this stuff as we putting this stuff before God now. I gotta get all the money so I can have the biggest chain, so I can have the best looking woman or many women and sin and defile my temple. No.
You got a chain, but look at your household. Look at your kids. You barely making check for check.
You spending your rent money on that.
You
stuff.
took your whole income tax money when you could have used it for good of the household.
You could have put some savings away for your kids' college funds or whatever. And you instead you went and bought you an $800 watch, gold Rolex.
Girl making $8 an hour, 2-3 kids, but she got gold bracelets, gold chain, gold everything.
Well, cause you trying to keep up with the Joneses. You trying to keep up with everybody else that got all this stuff. Hey, remember we talked about godliness with contentment. That goes into that too. Be happy with what you got, man. You trying to, now if you got it, it ain't nothing wrong to have that stuff. But when you in the state that we in as a people, you gotta look at priorities. Is that really important to have that? No,
Put it
it's
on
not.
credit.
Ooh, that's
So we want to thank everybody for joining the lesson. Take heed to keeping your temple holy, keeping it sacred, and discipline yourself. And we want to say shalom to everybody listening, and have a blessed week.